initiate a moratorium, but we thought we had one done already.
It's good to see you.
It didn't get processed a year ago, and so we have to come back now and do that. A lot of applications that were passed. That's why we're having
Oh, okay.
no new or existing large builders in the city.
Mayor was
But it
passing.
didn't get processed.
He
It
said, I
didn't
miss
go,
you.
it went through our
That's
community
good.
services committee, and it never got sent to council.
Then you passed me.
Now we're done.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we talk about that, I think that's something that, we're other things like that. The electronic displays are new coming in, a lot of people, just because, advertising and whatnot, just a monetary gain. So, yeah, so we don't want, big lighted walls all the way down the city, but not light pollution. In the past year, none going to the past year.
They stand out.
But it worked for you. And the past, a couple of weeks, I would say we've had 6 or 7.
Well, soon we get this.
I think a couple of them are existing, most of them are new billboards. Just billboards in general, just seeing them, blocking just aesthetic value of the city. The look of the people is not.
Test, 1, 2.
In the city, to be able to see stores, trees and things like that, so I would say that there's white. They have the order, and the billboards go in the city after the news.
I get it, your son's back.
Alright, thank you.
Doing what he needs to do when he needs
Got 30 seconds. The fishing clock.
But I thought, well, maybe there's another two in there. But the reason take it in, man. Keep that one, Steve, out here.
All right, I want to call this special call meeting January 21st, 2020 to order. We'll begin with the word of prayer, followed by the pledge of allegiance led by Councilmember Reed. So if you all please stand. Right, gracious, kind, Heavenly Father, we come before you today, as always, asking wisdom on every decision we make. We ask that you can give us guidance and let our hands do your work, Father. But most of all, let us do what's best by the citizens of the Benton of Arkansas. Father, be with us and guide us throughout this meeting. These things we ask in Christ's precious name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Come on, Tim. We have added to the title, at the end, declared an emergency and for other purposes, which was
Mack, go ahead and call the roll.
Yes, please.
Frank Baptist.
Here.
Steve Brown.
Here.
Jocelyn Cash.
Here.
Evelyn Reed. Here. Bill Donner.
Here.
Jeff Morrow.
Here.
Joe Hart.
Here.
James Hartsfield.
Here.
Steve Lee. Joe Kim.
Here.
You will have 9 present.
Councilmember Reed, are you
Yes, sir.
ready?
Yes, sir. At this time, I ask for the first reading of ordinance 1 of 2020.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second for the first reading of ordinance number 1 of 2020. Please read the ordinance.
Ordinance number 1 of 2020, an ordinance relating to land use and zoning adopting an immediate moratorium on the acceptance of applications for all new or existing installations, permits, erections, construction, replacement, modifications, or improvement of static or changing electronic, digital, or changeable message on or off-premise billboards along Interstate 30 or any off-premise 1 and 2 pole signs or any other off-premise advertising panel or signs outside the interstate zones and within all zoning districts, declaring emergency and for other purposes. Whereas the city regulates signs and displays on signs in all zoning districts to reduce potential traffic safety hazards and visual blight. And whereas billboards and 1 and 2 pole signs are currently permitted in several zoning districts and off-premise advertising allowed within the interstate zone in the city. And whereas the city council of the city of Benton desires to review, renew, and update its ordinances and rules regulating the construction, modification, and maintenance of outdoor commercial advertising signs and on-premise advertising signs within the interstate zone districts and off-premise outdoor advertising signs outside the interstate zone districts within the city before allowing any more such signs to be placed or modified. And whereas the proliferation of outdoor commercial advertising signs in the city of Benton has affected the aesthetic landscape of the community and new regulations governing same have become a necessity. Therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Benton, Arkansas, Section 1. The City of Benton does hereby declare and establish a moratorium on the construction, placement, erection, or installation of any new outdoor commercial advertising signs, whether on or off-premise advertising, including billboards within the limits of the City of Benton. Section 2. This moratorium shall also extend to the expansion, modification, including a change of face type, relocation, or enlargement of any and all currently existing outdoor commercial advertising signs within the corporate limits of the City of Benton, whether on or off premise. Section 3, this moratorium shall not, however, affect the ability of the sign owner or operator to make repairs or change the message or content of the sign which presently exists in the city, so long as the manner in which the message is displayed is not modified. Section 4. The Director of Community Development may authorize any new on-premise single-pole advertising billboards to be erected for a new commercial business. The Director of Community Development may also authorize any modifications to existing on-premise single-pole advertising billboards for any new commercial business. However, any new or on-premise billboard or sign shall not exceed the smaller of 300 square feet per side, but in no case larger than the nearest on-premise interstate billboard. If an EMC type is requested for the new on-premise billboard, then the sign can be no closer than 350 feet of an existing EMC type billboard, regardless if it is an on or off-premise advertising sign. Section 5, outdoor commercial advertising signs shall be defined as being those signs which advertise an establishment, merchandise, service, or entertainment which is not sold, produced, manufactured, or furnished at the property at which the sign is located. Section 6, off-premise advertising signs or billboards or any type of display, whether a panel on an existing sign, fence, wall, or freestanding on any property within any zoning district which advertises an establishment, merchandise, service, or entertainment which is not sold, produced, manufactured, or furnished at the property on which the sign is located. Section 7, on-premise advertising signs are defined as being a two-pole monument or a panel on a two-pole sign, but may also include an existing non-conforming single-pole sign advertising only the establishment, merchandise, service, or entertainment that is sold, produced, manufactured, or furnished at the property on which the sign is located. Section 8, all permits for the erection of new signs or the modification of existing signs which have been issued by the city prior to the enactment of this ordinance but have not been constructed shall be honored so long as the existing laws and ordinances govern same are followed. All permit applications which have been submitted to the Office of Community Development prior to the enactment of this ordinance shall be processed by the city. Any permit application found to be in compliance with the existing laws and ordinances of the city shall be issued. Any permit application found not to be in compliance with the existing laws and ordinances of the city shall be denied, and no revisions or amendments accepted thereto. Section 9, the Planning Commission, the Community Development Director, City Engineer, and City Attorney shall continue to conduct a review and study of the current ordinances and rules regarding outdoor commercial advertising and all on and off premise signs along the interstate zones and outside interstate zones within the city of Benton, and shall report their findings, conclusions, and recommendations to the city council within the time the moratorium hereby established is in effect. Section 10. The moratorium hereby established shall be in effect for 6 months from the effective date of this ordinance, unless sooner rescinded or further extended by ordinance. Section 11. That all ordinances and parts of ordinances of a permanent and general nature in effect at the time of the adoption of this ordinance and not included herein are hereby repealed where they are in conflict with the provisions of this ordinance. Section 12. It being immediately necessary for the preservation of the public peace, health, and safety and prevent the proliferation of unregulated outdoor commercial advertising signs off-premise and on-premise billboards along interstate and off-premise advertising panels and signs throughout the city and all zoning districts within the city of Benton, Arkansas. Therefore, by this ordinance, an emergency is hereby declared to exist. By reason thereof, this ordinance shall take effect and be in full force and effect from and after its passage and publication.
All right, do we have any comments from the public? Any comments from the council?
I just had a couple of questions for the city attorney, and as it's written, I've been a little bit more aware of the billboards just since this subject has come up. I actually drove around Benton just to observe. I actually did a count. Does this affect like on-premise advertising for places like insurance agencies, Allstate? I noticed there's Farm Bureau. Just driving around, they had a pole, they had a sign. Is that inclusive in this ordinance to say if the new insurance agency came in and they wanted to put up a sign with their business contact information, would they be precluded from doing so?
No, this does not affect new businesses. In fact, one of the sections specifically addresses that. If a new business opens or comes in, then the Director of Community Development may issue a permit for that business. What this is targeting are those signs that are off premise, basically, billboards, but it's written fairly broadly to try to cover different types of signs. But the specific question you have, there would not be a prohibition so long as it was an on-premise sign. Now, if they wanted to build a billboard out on the interstate, that would be a different answer to your question. But on-premise, they are not precluded.
So as we look beyond 6 months and maybe even before that, the exit 114, the new development, the CTE Center, new businesses, hopefully that come out there, that's, if they came in and wanted to put up a sign to advertise their business.
They would not be affected
Okay.
at that location.
If it was on their premises, but if they wanted to put one at the 114,
If they wanted to build a billboard at the 114, there would be an
Right,
issue.
right.
But if they are wanting to put an on-premises
Right.
sign advertising their business, there should not be an issue.
I have a question too. Do we know, does this, I didn't read, does this include 3-sided signs? Okay. Another question I had was, do we know how many applications we received today?
Brad, do you know?
There were, let's see, we have, 1, 2, 3, what's that, maybe 7?
Okay. I'm just curious to see if we had a influx of those on that. And do we know approximate date of when the review, will it be within the 6 months?
It will be within the 6 months. I don't see why we can't have that completed within that 6-month time period.
Okay.
The new applications that are in the pipeline now, are they being put on hold, or will they be processed through?
Now, the ordinance specifically addresses that if they have made an application and it complies with the law, it'll be granted. If it does not, it will be denied, but they cannot come in and try to change it.
Yeah.
They'll have to wait till the new ordinance takes effect and the moratorium is lifted.
For the record, since December 18th, we have received 2
2 off-premise billboards to be enlarged that exist, and 8 new billboard applications.
So that's 2 on premises and 8?
They're all off-premise.
Okay, what'd you say first, 2?
2 that exist that are requested to be enlarged from 300 square feet face size to 672 square feet face size, which is the maximum allowed for billboards. And then we've received 8 new billboards, requests. And all have been approved as far as the permit is concerned, but 2, one is pending because of a rezone requirement. The other is pending because of the location of power lines, only. It's approved, yet it's got to be relocated, away further from the existing power lines.
All right, any other questions?
I had one. Does this also include, and Ray mentioned in the reading, electronic billboards?
It does, it does.
I'd like to make sure y'all realize too, that out of exit 114, Dan Mowdy and Custom Advertising have, over a year ago, received approval for 6 additional billboards, off-premise billboards on the north side of I-30 there. However, they have not initiated any work other than on 2 of them. And I have already put in writing that the remaining 4 are not, since they haven't been initiated within the time frame of the permit, that they would have to come back in for a new application. But 2 do exist, and they do have approval for those 2.
Okay, we have any further questions?
Make a motion to suspend the rules for the second and third reading.
Second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules for the second, third reading.
Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Steve Lee, James Hartsfield,
Yeah.
Jeff Hart,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Joshua Cash,
Yes.
Steve Brown,
Yes.
Frank Baptist.
Yes.
Make a motion that we adopt ordinance 1 of 2020 on the second and third reading by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 1 of 2020 by title only, reading. Please read the title.
Ordinance number 1, 2020, ordinance relating to land use and zoning, adopting an immediate moratorium on the acceptance of applications for all new or existing installations, permits, erections, construction, replacement, modifications, or improvement of static or changing electronic, digital, or changeable message on or off-premise billboards along Interstate 30, or any off-premise 1 and 2 pole signs, or any other off-premise advertising panel or signs outside the interstate zones and within all zoning districts for an emergency and for other purposes.
All right, do we have any additional comments from the public? Any additional comments from the council? Hearing none, please take a vote.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown,
Yes.
Joshua Cash,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed,
Yes.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Jeff Hart,
Yes.
James Hartsfield,
Yes.
Steve Lee, Jeff Ham.
Yes.
Motion to pass the emergency clause.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pass the emergency clause.
Bill Donner,
Yes.
Jeff Morrow,
Yes.
Jeff Hart,
Yes.
James Hartsfield,
Yes.
Steve Lee, Jeff Ham,
Yes.
Frank Baptist,
Yes.
Steve Brown,
Yes.
Joshua Cash,
Yes.
Evelyn Reed.
Yes.
All right, at this time, ordinance number 1 of 2020 is duly passed. Do we have anything else? Do we have another motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank y'all.